Hey, it's Mary and I'm back with another Fab Friday project. Today I'm going to try to tackle using these Pink Fresh Studio, the Mix #1 acetate tags, and I'm pulling out some SHIMMERZ products. So first one is Hermit the Frog, and the second one is Well Blew Me Down. The third one is Pink Stilletos. The fourth one is Caribbean Sunset, and the fifth one is No Yoking. Some of these are COLORINGZ, so I think all of them, the last three are COLORINGZ, and then the first two are the SPRITZ colors. So some of them do have shimmers and some of them don't, like glittery shimmer. And I end up not using Hermit the Frog, which is a new color that they have. I just felt like the green would be too much. I really liked the soft colors after I did it. So I'm going to put you guys, speed you up just a little bit so that you can see the process of me doing the mixed media background. And the idea that I had with this was that I wanted to color block each one of these acetate tags. So I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle using acetate pieces or clear stickers, and I'm using both on this layout. So hopefully you guys can get some inspiration on how you can use clear acetate, ephemera pieces, and clear stickers. I struggled with this. I didn't struggle with the placement of everything. What I struggled with was trying to embellish it later. But I felt like that the mixed media turned out really, really cool on this. And I will show you a really unique way of sticking down your acetate pieces, which if you are following along with SpiegelMom Scraps design team this week, we are focusing on stitching. So there's your clue. So I'm just taking my colors, and each color I'm doing little bits of splatters to give it a little bit more texture. Everything's going to be pretty flat dimension wise on this page, so any little bits of added texture that I can trick the eye into seeing, I'm going to do. So some of the blocks have a little bit of a shadow effect, and that was just by me putting down the color first with the brush and then letting it dry for a second and then going back over it with a watered down color. And then when I was done with all of that, I went through and did the splatters. So it gave it a 3D feel, but it was not 3D, of course. So you're going to see a lot of me tapping my fingers because I'm humming and hawing. I am just visually placing the colors where they're not next to each other, where they're scattered around the page, and it moves your eye around the page. So the blues, the blues are all in 3 separate areas. The purple color is all in 3 separate areas. Then I have the corally color, which is Caribbean Sunset, in 3 separate areas, and then the yellow. And I knew that I would be covering up the yellow block on the bottom right with a photo, so I just made it a little bit bigger than a 4x4 photo. And now you see me doing some hand stitching. If you've followed me, you know that I don't really care for hand stitching. It's not that I don't think that it's beautiful. I think that it is. It's just that I spend so much time on my layouts as it is. To add in hand stitching would just be overkill for me, which it was. It took me like 40 minutes to hand stitch these little X's. So you're going to see me do a couple of the tags, and I realized that just stitching the hole where the tag wasn't going to be enough because they were flopping around all over the place. And I finally just did little X stitches on all of the tags in a couple different spots, and I thought that turned out really cute. Was it worth the time? Sure, for this layout. Will I do it again? You're gonna have to really convince me. Why hand stitch when I have a machine that will do it for me? That's my motto. But you know what? I accepted the challenge and I did it, and I'm proud of myself, and it did turn out beautifully. So I'm glad that I did it. So I'm just going to fight with my my picture here. I'm popping it up on some foam, and then as you saw, I was having a hard time sticking down the tissue paper, but I finally got it to stick. And I'm going to be cutting out a lot of placing of the embellishments because that took me a really long time. The little sunglasses I loved. So Abby girl has on some goggles when she was swimming, and so I really wanted to put those sunglasses in there, but I'm going to move it around several times. I'm going to take it off, I'm going to put it back on, but you'll see in the end, or towards the end, how I end up making it work. These Amy Tangerine stickers, they are clear acetate stickers or clear stickers, and so you started getting like all of these extra layers. You had the layers of the background that I did, then you had layers of the tag. If there was an image on the tag, I was having a fight with that, and then you had the clear of the stickers that I wanted to use, and it just wasn't helpful at all. So I kind of put that aside. I leave it there for a bit. The great thing about Amy Tangerine's clear stickers is that they're really easy to get off. So I just laid it there for a little bit, and now I'm going to go through and grab some of my wood enamel buttons and place those around because I knew that I wanted to include those. And so as I'm putting the wood buttons around, I'm thinking, what else can I do to just give it some more added interest? You know, I could have left it. I didn't have to embellish the whole thing. I could have just watercolored the paper and then put the acetate tags down on and then stitched it. But you know what, you guys? I make everything hard. I don't make anything easy. And so I'm going through all of my little tiny ephemera pieces, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and color match on each little block and put tiny embellishments on it. And that looked horrible. I even end up gluing it down. You'll see that in a few minutes. I go and I grab a couple pieces of tiny chipboard that I think might work. One of them stays on. Well, two of them stay on. So I put that little flower down on the right-hand corner. And I end up taking off the little pink heart that I put down on the tag to the left of the photo. You're going to see me throwing things onto my layout, thinking, well, maybe this will work. So I grabbed this Vicky Bouton tag. It's the only Vicky Bouton piece of ephemera that I put in here, but the color matched well with the Caribbean sunset color of the shimmers, and I felt like the photo needed something just to the right of it. There was a little bit of a gap, more so than what I thought would be there. So I ended up adding that tag, and that looked fine. And then I'm going to go through and add some of these acrylic pieces that I did. These were the DIY acrylic pieces that I did a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to color match those. And I'm sorry about the sun coming in. It was first thing this morning when I was doing the layout. This morning, meaning Wednesday morning. So you guys are going to see this video on Friday. And then I end up fixing the light issue, and then it'll end up coming back. So now I'm going to play around with what do I want the title to be. So I grabbed some of these thickers. I believe that these are Amy Tangerine 2, Meet Me in the Sunshine, was her little sticker sheet, her thickers, gold thickers, and that was on that sticker sheet. So I ended up not using Meet Me in the Sunshine and using Meet Cute because Abby was being super cute. And this is when I realized the glasses just aren't going to work up there. So then I try around the picture. Nope, it's not going to work there. Nope, it's not going to work there. So then I take it off and I think, well, maybe it'll work over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. It's not going to work. I'm going to put it back. It will work. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to Tim Gun it. Make it work. So then I take a drink of coffee and I walk away for a little bit because at this point I was getting frustrated. And I come back and I grab the sunglasses again. I think, you know, the perfect spot for those sunglasses would be right there in the center, above the picture. It would bring a cute element, but I'm still fighting with the images behind the tag, and the sunglasses just look funny. So I think, why don't I just stick it down on white cardstock and fussy cut the crap out of it? So that's what I did. When all else fails, you just fussy cut the crap out of things. And then voila, it works and it's beautiful. So I take off all of the tiny little embellishments that were cluttering everything. And for the last 5 minutes, you saw me putting them on, and now I'm taking them off. I'm sorry. But you know what? This is what happens. All scrapbookers go through it. Even I go through it. I go through it more often than you guys realize. And so because I took off the blue flowers, I'm going to take them off everywhere. I scuff up the circle on the top. So I just bring out my SHIMMERZ color and make it work. I just add a little bit more on top of it. And that ends up working out just fine, but I do end up covering it anyway with a little acrylic star, or what was it? An acrylic cloud? I think I used a cloud up there. Yeah. So now I'm looking at the rest of the Amy Tangerine stickers thinking, well, this is really working out well. I'm just going to put a couple more on some white cardstock and fussy cut the crap out of those too. And I'm going to take off all of those tiny little embellishments because they're bothering me. I'm not a person who likes a lot of clutter, and even on my pages. So it wasn't working for me. But these bigger pieces are working great on these tags. And I felt like once I figured all of that out, everything flowed really, really well. So I'm just adding in a couple more of these stickers in certain spots. I cut up some of the longer strips so that I can use it in more than one place. I'm going to look, and I'm going to and I'm going to ha. And I'm saying, I need something right there. I need some more blue right there. So the only thing that was really left on that sticker sheet that was blue were these little buttons. And I figured, it's a pop of color. I'll just go ahead and stick those down. So I stick them down. And then I realized I don't like that cloud there. So then I move it up to the circle. And now I think I'm stitching the Vicky Bouton tag that I had put to the side of my picture there. Super sped up so you don't have to watch the process in really slow motion. And I just used the yellow down there on the right because I covered up a lot of the yellow block that I had painted. I wanted to have a little bit more yellow. And then you'll see soon that I felt like I needed even more yellow because the yellow blocks that were up at the top were definitely more prominent than the block on the right on the bottom. So here's where I get the idea. Well, I'm going to bring out this paper pad. So this is Citrus Bliss, and I always go for this when I need that kind of citrusy yellow because that collection had a lot of the citrusy yellow. So I just kind of trace around a tag that was sitting on my desk, and I made a little tab for the top of that, and that's where I'll put my date stamp. So I'm going to place that just right, and now I feel like the yellow amount that was needed in the bottom right hand corner around the picture is the perfect amount. So now, to finish everything off, I'm just going to take some enamel dots, and I would have used sequins. I feel like I'm kind of cheating you guys out on not using sequins, but here's the deal. Everything was already kind of shiny because of the acetate, and then I had the clear stickers, which have a shiny top to them. I felt like I needed an enamel dot, which is not as shiny. It's not shimmery shiny like a sequin would be. So that's why I'm using enamel dots. I feel like I need to justify that. I am a SpiegelMom Scraps design team member who did not use sequins on their layout. And I'm sorry, and I apologize, but you can still pick up shimmers in the shop. So if you liked the shimmers that I used, go to the shop, check it out, use my code, get 15% off. So that's it, you guys. I'm going to just end up using all of the colors and matching them up on my tags with the enamel dots. And I have some close-ups for you coming up. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a fabulous Friday. Bye.